Welcome back to the Mid-Year Mitch YouTube channel. In today's episode, I'm cutting the trunk floor out of the 67 Camaro and replacing it with a brand new one, so be sure to stick around. So the 67 Camaro is mostly rust-free. The worst of the rust is really in the trunk. It's just super pitted on the inside. It's got a bunch of little pinholes here and there, so instead of trying to just fill all these little holes, I'm just gonna cut this section out, and I have my Eastwood plasma cutter hooked up. So now what I'm gonna do is just run the torch around this radius the whole way around, and then I'll take this piece, set it in the trunk, and I can either use this piece as a guide, or I'll just put a Sharpie mark around it, trace it out, watch out for the braces, cut the whole thing out. I cut the excess off the new floor pan, and that plasma cutter is actually really fun to use. It's sitting in here nice, except for where there's a little bracket back there. I don't know if that was for the jack or the spare tire or what, but I'm gonna pull this thing back off, and then I need to mark. I may drill some pilot holes to show me where these floor braces are, and I'm just gonna come in here, cut around them, remove the floor pan the best I can so I can get this new one to set in here. Just left these top pieces of metal in because you really can't feel the spot welds from the top unless you can get access from the bottom. You can feel the little dimple down there, and I put marks all the way around them. So now I'm going to try to remove the spot welds by using the plasma cutter and gouging them out, just kind of tracing around the opening and just blowing out the metal around. We should be able to pull this piece off, clean everything up with the grinder. So I've done a lot of trimming on the trunk floor pan to get it to fit the car. Now I need to make the car fit the floor pan. I got the floor pan all trimmed up so that way there's a nice gap the whole way around that's not sticking too high above the car or anything. So now I need to trace along the entire floor pan and trim the car to fit this better. I have the trunk floor pan sitting in place. I'm pretty happy with the fitment. It's gonna take a little bit of maneuvering it and pulling on it with picks and pliers and the screwdriver just to get the gap to line up. But overall it's fitting nice, good enough to start tacking it. So I'm definitely gonna have to manipulate it as I go around just because I had to put pressure underneath with the floor jack and a porta power. And I'll just have to push these areas down and kind of pull some other areas. So it'll be a little bit of a dance. So I've made my first pass the whole way around the floor, making some tacks, some areas 1, some areas 3 or 4, and I'm getting the floor pan to fit pretty well. I had to do a little massaging in this area to get everything to contour right. Once I started welding it just wasn't lining up, but I got it to contour the way I wanted it to, so now I just got to start, you know, making my 30,000 tacks the whole way around here. So I have the trunk floor welded in, and that took a long time to get it done, but I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out. I just went over it quickly with the flap wheel just to knock off the highs. I'm really happy with the way this trunk floor is turning out. I did a lot of grinding around the whole perimeter and sanding around all my welds, and it still needs some more work. There's still some pinholes, and I could still do some more blending. I went over it with a 36 grit on a roll lock, and then I went over it with 80 grit on a DA, but it's coming out pretty good. I think whenever it's done, it might just need a little skim coat of filler just around the whole perimeter, but most of it looks really nice. A little bit of filler primer might cover some of that, but if you want it to be perfect, cover it with a little bit of something. But I think this gets spatter paint in here too, so that might hide a little bit of it as well, but I think it'll turn out really nice whenever it's done. I'm really happy with it. It's much more solid than it was, and it'll finish up nice. I just need to clean up the underside a little bit. But that's gonna do it for this video. If you enjoyed, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I have a lot of work to do on this car, so I'll catch you guys later.